Ms. Barger, how does a teacher advocate meeting the needs of learners and strengthening the learning environment?
Well, I really try to be an advocate for my students whenever possible, and I think that comes down to knowing their strengths, knowing their weaknesses, and knowing what their needs are in the classroom. So when I'm planning my instruction, I try to think, okay, how is this student going to do on this? How am I going to be able to adjust for this student? How can I help them the best way that I know how? Being an advocate for your students also means communicating with their parents. So you need to let them know how they can help at home, how they can help you in the classroom. And even today we had a data analysis meeting for some of the reading assessments that we just recently did. And it really came down to me saying, here are what my students' strengths are, here are what my students' needs are, here's what I'm going to do for them in the classroom to make them better readers, to make them more fluent. And it always comes down to what more can you do in the classroom? How can you help your students more? So I think just addressing the needs that you assess in the classroom is how to be the best advocate for your students.
Ms. Barger, if you could summarize or if you could give new teachers one piece of advice, just one. Although you've given us so much right here, your responses are going to be very helpful, I'm sure, to new teachers. But if you could only give one, what would you say?
I would say just get to know your students, because once you know them, it makes everything else so much easier. That's what it comes down to, is how well you know your students and how much you're willing to do for them.
Good response. Ms. Barger, I want to thank you for setting the time aside for me. I really do appreciate your input.
Of course.
I hope that you enjoy the gift that I'm going to leave you.
Ooh.
You deserve a gift for this. Thank you for your responses, and I hope that your responses will help some of the future students.
I hope so too.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome.